So I recently got tagged on Twitter to do a VOD analysis of this game where Jejajeja 3-stocks his opponent in under 1 minute. Now, I've already seen the clip, so I'm not going to like fake a reaction to it or anything like that. I'm going to let you guys watch it first. Then I'm going to go over a couple of moments in this full set, like in games 1 and 2, that kind of led up to this point for this to happen. And then I'm kind of going to go over some of the things that you can do to incorporate this type of stuff into your play. And how you can get these type of, 1-minute games, potentially. Now, you also might be thinking, oh, this is losers round 1. That was the first thing I thought. I'm like, okay, this is just a mismatch of opponents. He's already up 2-0. It's probably just him being better than his opponent. But this is losers round 1 of top 8 at this, 200-person tournament. And Jeja got, I think, 4th in the tournament. And the first series of this tournament, this is the second one, he got 2nd in it, losing only to Elegant. So for anyone who doubted, oh my gosh, that's crazy. For anyone who doubted Jeja's results, online, saying that wouldn't translate to offline, here you go. He's doing absolutely incredible offline as well. So we're going to take a look at a couple moments that really kind of stood out to me in games 1 and 2. So we're going to take a look right here where it's very even on that last stock scenario. And basically, Kingdom, I'm just going to call him Kingdom, is able to edgeguard Kirby pretty well, rack up some percent, put Jeja in a pretty bad spot. Right here is really solid because, let's see, how many jumps he used? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he is pretty low on jumps. And so Kingdom knows this. And so he's going to try and kind of get him. But Jeja covers that with forward air, which is a nice little thing to go for. You don't want to really nair because nair just kind of lasts a little too long. And probably don't want to up air either for the most part. But forward air is just a good way to cover you getting back to the ledge. He fortunately gets the last hit, but then kind of makes a little bit of a mistake going for the up B, landing on stage with it. Although if he had re-grabbed, that wouldn't have been good either. But this is an okay option if you want to see if you can get your opponent to drop their shield early. But what happens is he's able to punish him for it if you land right on someone's shield with it. Fortunately, he's not at high enough percent. So, for example, if Jeja was at 110% or something like that, Pikachu probably could have just done up smash out of shield and killed him. But he is not that percent, so he goes for down tilt to kind of set up an edge guard. He jumps right into the Thunder Jolt, putting him in at a pretty bad spot. But he doesn't go instantly to the ledge, which could have backfired on him right here. He kind of fades away a little bit. He might have avoided the down air, but I don't think so. Fortunately, Kingdom doesn't go right out for the down air. They kind of both just call each other's bluff a little bit. But he then fades back and then goes right to ledge here. Now, Kingdom thinks that he's going to do the same thing again, I guess, or just tries to catch him with a down air to kill. And he misses. So this is where Jeja just absolutely destroys him. I'll go through the whole thing right here just so you can watch it in full, because I know some people hate when I just keep pausing, but I have so many things to say about every single interaction. So goes high, covers himself with the fair right here, goes to ledge, gets hit from the up B, then goes right to ledge and gets him with the downer. He goes about as deep as you can go. And basically, that is because he overextended against Kirby. And if there's one thing an opponent should take away from this is do not overextend against Kirby, because Kirby has a very easy time just hitting you with a down air. As bad of a move as down air is, I made a whole video on it, it's good at having a lingering hitbox. There's really not many other moves like that in the game. Not many other down airs. There's Pikachu's, there's Lucas's, and probably a couple others that just have that lingering hitbox on the down air for a spike. Pikachu's, I think, only spikes at the beginning. So what happens is he's all the way down there. He doesn't really even need to time it as long as he's kind of just horizontally aligned with him. He can just throw out the down air, which is a kind of risky option. If he misses, he'll be in a very bad spot. But when you're down 50% like this, it's a no-brainer. You obviously want to go for it. And he catches him. I think he also, even if he would have up B'd instantly, which he might have actually done, up B just kind of loses to other moves, like Pikachu's up B. So a lot of times just throwing out a hitbox just completely beats it. But yeah, he is kind of lucky he didn't down air right there. But yeah, overextends, gets him with the down air. And if they were higher up, that would not have even come close to killing Pikachu, because down air is not that strong of a spike. But it's just enough when you're that low to prevent him from coming back. And the other thing is he had already double jumped right here. He'd already used his second jump. So really Kingdom was going for it all right here. And he fast fell. He might not have meant to fast fall the down air. Don't quite know. But overextension, and he dies from it. And Jeja would have made it back, as you can see right there. So don't overextend against Kirby. Jeja did a great job of avoiding dying to that down air. Yeah, there's another moment in game 2 I wanted to look at. Again, it was a very close game where every time one guy took a stock, they'd answer right back. Also, this was kind of cool. Right here. So Jeja uses the down B just to kind of safely get below the ledge. And then he notices, hey, Kingdom's just standing there, just waiting for him. Usually they're going to be waiting to react to an up B and just shield it because it's a very slow move, or just expecting them to maybe air dodge the ledge, something like that. So he just gets him with an up air. Although it looked like he was running off, so I don't know what he was going for. He might have... don't quite know. Let's see, which way is he facing? He might have been trying to do like a run-off back air. That can sometimes be a pretty good move. Yeah, so let's take a look at this last stock real quick. Kills him with the fair. So again, completely even. Last stock scenario. So Jeja just does something crazy here and kills him from 20%. So take a look. We'll let it play out and then I'll go over the whole thing. Up tilt. Yep. And then he kills him. So what happened here? Now, there's actually a lot going on. A little more than you might expect. So, starting, let's see, not here. So he hits him with the Nair. So now he's at 20%. If he was at 19%, forward tilt would not have sent Pikachu into tumble for a jab lock. So I'm assuming Jeja has a pretty good idea of the percents, or else he wouldn't have really been looking for the forward tilt. But against Pikachu, I think it's like 19 point something, sends him into tumble. So he's at basically the perfect percent for the smallest window to be able to tech for that. Take a look here. Now, Pikachu is one of the best characters in the game. Some people think he's the best character in the game, and a lot of it comes from, or at least some of it, comes from his just kind of privilege in pancaking a lot of moves. Basically, when he goes for something like a back air, he ends up just so low to the ground, and a lot of characters cannot punish him for that, or their moves will just whiff, sometimes on accident, sometimes intentionally. But it's something that makes Pikachu good, or at least helps him be even better than he already is. But in the matchup against Kirby, it doesn't really come into play that much, because most of Kirby's moves hit the ground, or very close to the ground, where it will still hit Pikachu. And if anything, Kirby can also kind of pancake, or at least low profile, some of Pikachu's moves. And you'll see that right here. So what happens is, they both land. Jeja hits him with a down tilt on his shield. Now, down tilt is pretty safe on shield, but Pikachu then goes for a back air out of shield. Now, because Kirby is so low to the ground, I'm just going to go frame by frame here. Yep. Because Kirby is so low to the ground, this back air does not connect because of the down tilt. So pretty much any other character would be getting hit with this back air out of shield, but because Kirby is so low to the ground, he completely avoids it. And then goes for a forward tilt, probably expecting him to just drop shield or something like that, because obviously you're going to be looking for the forward tilt to set up a jab lock. So he misses this way. Now, this is kind of the Pikachu pancake. Back air, I think, is the best example of this, where look at how low Pikachu is. Almost any character, like with a grab or something like that, a lot of them will just completely whiff this Pikachu because he's so low to the ground, but not Kirby, because Kirby's very low to the ground already. So hits him with the forward tilt. Now, this is a very difficult tech. Like, there is very little time to react to getting hit by the forward tilt to be able to tech. It's possible, but it's just pretty hard to do because you can be just a little late, and then there you go. And once Kirby hits a forward tilt, you have to be very quick to reacting to getting the hit and running over there to hit a down tilt to jab block. Could also jab block with jab, but down tilt is better because it gives you more percent. Has a bigger range as well. So he gets the down tilt, and then of course you're going to do another down tilt. Does he move? Yep, he does. So you have enough time to kind of do a dash and then do another down tilt, because that gets you closer to your opponent, which is good and necessary for what he does next. It also gets him closer to the edge of the stage, which can be pretty good. So hits another down tilt, and because he's so close, he is able to do the up tilt. Now, a lot of times you've seen clips like this, where he gets a jab block, does the up tilt, and does a dare ride, which is basically a full hop down air, then a down tilt, and then, well, his modified version. I almost want to call it the Jeja or something like that, because you see him do it so often. But up tilt, full hop down air, and then the classic dare ride is to do another up tilt, another down air, and then finish with a down smash. But what Jeja does a lot is he does up tilt, then down air, and then does a down tilt. At certain percents, that can be a very good option. But what's interesting here is that he doesn't do a full hop down air. He does a short hop down air. So this is pretty different than a full hop down air, because you are going to get the landing hitbox of down air. And also, it's easier to get it frame perfect. I mean, you can just do the macro where you press both buttons at the same time, and you'll do a perfect short hop down air. But for a full hop down air, it can take one frame later unless you use instant double jumps, and that's if you're frame perfect. So I do believe that Jeja did not have enough frame advantage for this down air to connect. I want to say there was probably a frame or two where he could have jumped out or potentially air dodged. Not positive. You can look at the up tilt chart and let me know if that's the case, but I don't believe, because I feel like I've had characters similar weights at higher percents that were able to air dodge out of a short hop down air, but it does hit, of course, obviously. Yeah, like right about here, he probably could have jumped, but it looked like he was trying to. Not positive. That might just be the getting hit by down air. But gets hit by down air, the short hop down air. So if you watch my video on down air, you'll know that when you do short hop down air, you get the landing hitbox. And you do not want the landing hitbox of down air normally, because you do not have much frame advantage from it. So against a character like Bowser, you have like 1 frame of advantage, so you can't really do anything from that guaranteed. But against lighter characters, there's something like 8 or so characters, something like that, where if you get the landing hitbox, you can do a down tilt. And I think against Pichu and maybe one other character, I think it's Shulk in jump mode or something like that, you're able to do down tilts to grab, I think, guaranteed. But against a few characters, you can do down air to down tilt. And so Pikachu is one of those characters. I'm assuming Jeja knows that. So he can get a guaranteed down tilt from the down air. And because the RNG gods just love Jeja, it just always seems to happen like this, or at least we clip it when it does happen. He does the down tilt right after and gets the trip. And when you get the trip, you have a guaranteed forward smash. So he gets the kill. And that seems a little almost cheap. You're like, wow, he got a trip at 50 near the ledge, or what was it, 60 near the ledge? Wow, that's crazy. In just a few seconds, he goes, yeah, 64%, and it kills him at the ledge. But, I mean, that's Kirby. That's using Kirby's tools to your advantage. And that's why the character can pull off some pretty cool wins and get some very crazy kills. Jeja uses it to his advantage. He is a little reliant on RNG in that aspect right there. But maybe he reacted to the sound. I don't know if I'm assuming no, because you pretty much have to be very quick with it. And I'll talk about how you can actually be better at reacting later for the down tilt. But yeah, he wins game 2 from that, which was just a sick way to end it. So I'm assuming at this point his opponent is a little tilted. I mean, he doesn't look like he's visibly angry or anything like that. So I'm not going to look too into that. But like dying from 20% from a forward tilt kind of can mess with your mind a little bit. So going into this, he's probably a little on tilt. So he might go off and try and be a little aggressive or something at the beginning. Try and basically do his own type of you know, cool combo like that. But that doesn't happen, obviously. Starts off with the nair, gets forward air, just kind of poking each other. He does a great job of full hopping right there over the Thunder Jolt, which is pretty important. And connects it with the back air, and then does a forward smash. Let's take a look at this forward smash. So, full hops over, follows it up with a back air. Not a true combo, but a really nice follow-up. And then basically says, hey, I'm going to call out you either maybe air dodging to the ledge as well. That could have caught that. Or just maybe doing the up B right away. And he times it absolutely perfectly. Angles it downwards, I'm guessing just to kind of hit a little bit below the ledge as well. And gets a kill. And because he had been charging it so much, I think it actually might have killed without too much charge too. But yeah, because he had it basically fully charged, or just about fully charged, he's able to kill him. Which was just a 9-second stock. Absolutely insane. So that's a great way to take the first stock. And right here, I think that's the last hit that they get on Jeja. I think he wins it with 9%. Does a good job of here. He basically, well, I'll have to go back a little too far, but he does the full hop nair. And then instead of landing on shield with it, he actually fades it away and then kind of retreats afterwards, which is pretty smart. I like the use of full hops by Jeja, basically, is what I'm saying. So, here, he, right here. So basically, he does the nair on shield, and when you do a nair and land on someone's shield, down tilt is always a great option right after, because you get so low to the ground. If you crouch right after, it takes 3 frames for that to happen, for you to crouch down, but down tilt comes out frame 1. I mean, the move itself doesn't come out frame 1, but the crouch part of it does come out on frame 1. So Gimmer has a whole video about this, the transition animations, where like if Kirby does an up air on someone's shield, he goes to this weird animation if you're trying to duck after. Against Pikachu, not huge, especially when he's facing you. Against a lot of opponents, when you hit that nair on shield, down tilt is your best bet. So he goes for the down tilt. He blocks it. It's pretty safe on shield. I don't know if he's able to grab here. Pikachu might have been able to grab. Not positive. But he drops shield and gets hit with another down tilt. And he goes for the grab here because he might have been expecting him to be holding shield, or maybe on the trip, something like that. Goes for the grab and gets a forward throw off. Pikachu forward throw forward air doesn't work super well, but this percent forward throw down air should work, and it does. He notices that Pikachu ended up behind him, so you go for the up tilt. And what he does here is pretty cool. I don't know if this was fully intentional, like he was going for it, but he does the run and then does the reverse up tilt, and that covers air dodge away, which a lot of people do in that situation, and it also covers neutral air dodge, which hits right here. He also goes for the forward tilt after. He probably didn't know if the up tilt was going to hit, which is why he went for the forward tilt. But let's look at that sequence just kind of all at once now. Forward tilt, down tilt, grab, up tilt, reverse up tilt, and then right here, this is just a very, I don't even have words to describe what happens here, because he goes for the down tilt, gets the trip, he runs up to get closer to Pikachu, and he does a triple down tilt. Now, that triple down tilt is guaranteed, because down tilt at this mid percent does a good job of comboing into itself. Because even though it sends the opponent a little bit away, you can down tilt, you have enough frame advantage to get another down tilt, even if you don't get the trip. So, you can do down tilt, down tilt, down tilt against an opponent at this percent if you are close enough on that first down tilt. So, after the down tilt trip, he runs up to him, gets close to him, does another down tilt. Now, something to note is if you get a down tilt trip, the hit right after cannot trip. So, when you get this trip, you know that the first one will not trip, but the second one can. But if you're going for 3, you get put into an interesting spot. Because the second one can, but if it doesn't, the third one also can. But if the second one does, the third one cannot. And so I've talked about that in an earlier Jeja video. Basically, it's, I think, impossible. I don't quite know, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible to react to the down tilt trip. Like, you can react to the trip, but you can't react and punish the not trip, if that makes sense, because you have more frame advantage from the trip to be able to react to it. But what you can do is react to the previous down tilt. So, for example, if you are going for the 3 down tilts, which are guaranteed, and the second one trips, you know the third one will not trip. And you can react to the second one not tripping, and then I think in that situation, the best follow-up would be a dash grab. So you do down tilt, down tilt. If the second one trips, you can do another down tilt and then run up and dash grab, do a down throw, and that's probably, after a couple pummels, I don't know, 30-something%, 6%, 18-ish, and then couple pummels, down tilts. Yeah, that's probably 32 or so%. And that's just basically guaranteed, yeah. So, and that's if the second down tilt trips. If it does not, you have a chance that the third down tilt will trip. So this is basically just better than just doing the down tilt, the one down tilt. It basically kind of resets the situation with that third one. So sorry if that didn't make sense. It made sense in my head as I was saying it, but that's what Jeja does here. So he goes for the down tilt. This one cannot trip. He knows that. Then goes for another down tilt. And he reacts to this one not tripping, because the second one can, and hits a third one. Since the second one did not trip, yeah, he goes for it right away, so I don't think he's doing this on reaction. I think he was anticipating the third one having a possibility of tripping, so he goes for the forward smash here. Sorry if that was a lot and didn't make much sense. Hopefully it did. Basically, you don't want to react, if you're trying to do this on reaction, you don't want to react to the down tilt that you hit. You want to react to the second to last down tilt. And if it tripped, you know that the last one will not, so don't go for a forward smash. But if it doesn't trip, you can rely on the RNG gods to hopefully give you a trip on the third and get a forward smash off. So that's exactly what happens, and then he gets the kill from it. I know it looks very silly. It's just like, okay, he's just pressing the down tilt a bunch. But, and maybe he was. I don't quite know. Jeja, if you're watching this, you can let me know what was going through your head here. And if that's something that you do, is reacting to the second to last down tilt and deciding if you're going to go for a forward smash there or not. But he plays that perfectly and doesn't get the kill, but very close to the kill. And then does something pretty cool. So he gets this down smash. But what's actually pretty good that allowed this to happen is you'll see here that he's waiting, and this might not look like much, but it is something, where he jumps off stage. So when he jumps off stage, Kingdom in his mind is like, okay, so he's going to try and edge guard me. Maybe he'll do something like a forward air. My best bet right here is to try and up B to the ledge. I'll do that early. So Jeja says, nope, I'm going actually back to the ledge. And I'm going to hit a down smash. And so he hits down smash. Down smash is great at covering this type of thing at the ledge because the feet are disjointed on the down smash, and he times it perfectly. You don't need to time it like as the strict timing is not as strict as the forward smash I did earlier because you have like kind of a rotation of hitboxes that last a little bit longer. And then right here, oh, he does actually get one more. He got the forward air hit right there. Right here, he kind of baits him. He doesn't go right to the ledge because Kingdom needs a comeback. He's down 2 full stocks basically. And Jeja knows that he is down 2 full stocks, so he knows he's going to probably overextend again because you need to make a comeback, so you have to do something. So Jeja doesn't go right to ledge. If he had gone right to ledge, he probably would have gotten hit by that down air. But he doesn't. He fades away a little bit. Notices he overextends and gets the up B spike for the kill for one of the fastest matches I have ever seen. Something to note about the up B spike that you might not know is that when you are in hit stun like this, you actually, like, the blast zone is higher for you versus not being in hit stun from a hit. That makes sense. So I'll go through it right here, frame by frame. So if you look at the box in the top left here, where it's got the yellow and the red dots, that's Kirby is the yellow one, and Pikachu is the red one. Sorry if that's confusing, because Pikachu should be yellow. But Kirby is the yellow dot. And so he spikes him downwards. But what happens is Kirby actually goes lower quicker than Pikachu. So, as you can see, he's falling a little bit faster. So, when we see this box again, Kirby on the left there is much lower than Pikachu. And is falling even faster. But, if you see, Pikachu is disappearing right there, meaning they lost the stock, right there. All the way up there. And that's because they were in hit stun, and when that happens, and you have that downwards hit, you actually die earlier. So, if this was a last stock scenario, Jeja would have won, even though he was lower. So that's something to note when using your up B. But if you are, let's see, like, pretty high up, that will not happen. So if, for example, he got him, like, up here, where Pikachu's up there, at the ledge, they don't usually hit the blast zone from that. But if you're a little bit lower, like down here, and the spike is all the way down there, just a little bit past the ledge. Actually, I don't know, that wasn't even that far past the ledge. But, so it might have actually got him from the ledge. I guess it kind of can depend on the stage and how big the bottom blast zones are. But in that scenario, Jeja did not lose a stock first. So it was a full 3 stock rather than just the JB 3 stock. So, I mean, a lot to unpack there, and that was really just going through a few interactions. Hopefully you found that helpful. I know I just kind of ranted about down tilt for a few minutes there in the middle, but hopefully you found it helpful. And I would love to do more videos like this, so if you have a video you want me to analyze, talk about, feel free to tag me on Twitter or join the Discord. I've got a section for video ideas that sometimes maybe I will take a look at and incorporate into a video if I see fit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like. Dislikes are gone now, so that's kind of strange. But thank you again for watching. Peace.